Perspective.
Greetings and welcome to You Who Eavesdrops with Permission. This is the Table of Perspective, where we understand that one matter at hand can be viewed through very contrasting perspectives. I'm your host, Beulah, and today we have a special guest from the Sporting Base.
Yes.
Who are you?
I'll go by the name of Marcus. I'm from the Sporting Base. I do it with Calvin. And yeah, I'm here in the Table of Perspective.
He's made it, guys.
I've made it.
He's made it in life.
I've made it in life. I'm the sports guy in the Table of Perspective at the moment.
Unfortunately, Ashley and Beston are not with us today. R.I.P.
That's a
shortly.
shame. She pulled me in, so I just said, you know what? Let me just give it a try.
Why not?
Why not?
So our topic today is habits.
Ooh, habits.
I have a couple notes on it and something that, how it impacts my life, etc., etc.
Yeah.
But I would like to get your view on it.
On habits.
Okay. And if I may, I just want to add in a quote.
No problem.
To actually kind of, I guess, hold the narrative of it.
100%.
It's a quote by Carlos Castaneda. Forgive me if I mispronounce that. And it says that we make ourselves miserable or we make ourselves strong. The amount of work is the same. So he was actually a American author, multiple books. So, as an author, he had written multiple books.
Yeah.
And, in that practice and that type of work, it requires a lot of discipline and certain habits to actually fulfill that. So, Marcus, I would like to ask, what is your perspective on habits?
On habits, man, like habits and discipline, I would say, go hand in hand because, you can, it can be good, it can be bad. I mean, in a bad way, for example, like if you take a drug, if you take a certain drug, it's fine. It all starts with one. You know what I'm saying? It starts with one.
Yeah.
It starts with this one hurt me. Let me just give it a try.
Sure.
It all starts with drugs. Obviously, I'm the Sporting Base, but I'm just making an example. So it starts with drugs. Let's say, cocaine. It's like they introduce it to. It's like, okay, this will make you fine. They deceive you.
Yeah.
They deceive you, and you start sniffing. It's like, oh, it's not so bad. I'm in a high at the moment. Then it's like, you know what? 2 wouldn't hurt. 3 wouldn't hurt.
Sure.
And there's a saying that says, if you do something for 30 days, it becomes a habit.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So if you do something for 30 days. In order to break out, it's going to be very, very difficult right now because some habits become an addiction.
Sure.
It becomes an addiction. That's what you need to understand. That's why you need to be careful what habits you do. It's very, very important because either way, the result, it may be good, it may be bad.
Yeah.
So in my perspective, it may be good, it may be good, it may be bad.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you have to be willing to suffer the consequences of your habits.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's definitely the case. But for now, we'll be going into our first song, Marcus.
And the first song is from Henry Soul. It's called SDF. I don't even know what that means, but it's called SDF.
All right,
please
enjoy
enjoy
and
the
we'll
song.
be back.
Thank you.
Supreme leader.
When I think of all the love you done showed me, you did bust my brain, no. The kind of love where I know fit shall I Papa don't come out, oh. You did for me, oh. I love the way you make me feel. You mad about give me the more. All that you could do more. Gina do me J. He takes the lead and I follow. 'Cause I'm safe, delivered, free. Sin's got nothing on me. Your message all I see. Favor sure for me. Now you make me sing na 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 na. Na 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 na.
And I go speak on these blessings, oh daddy. Your love is ecstasy, the sugar my body. 'Cause every day, you know they use me, cause she cruise. 'Cause every place and every time, you just show up for the say if not ever know, you give me blessing, I'm stars. So when you lead, I go for la la la.
Cause I'm safe, living free. Sin's got nothing on me. Your message on favor sure for me. Now you know make me sing na 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 na. Cause I'm safe, living free. Sin's got nothing on me. Your message on favor sure for me.
And we are here to continue.
Of course.
So, going back to what Marcus was speaking about earlier, how you'd suffer the consequences of your habits, right?
Yes.
There are many studies that have been shown, like you mentioned about the 30 days, creating a habit.
Yes.
If you look at the crux of the conversation, the essence of life is that life is made by decisions.
Of course.
Decisions that you make constantly ultimately become habits. Habits become your daily existence.
Of course, like also it also leads to mindset.
Yeah.
If you have a certain mindset, you will produce a certain habit. And obviously, I'm from the sporting base, so I'm gonna speak about like what's happened, how do athletes think? You get what I'm saying? So if an athlete, like let's say, wants to win a championship, obviously there's certain things that he needs to do.
Of course.
But what happens is that, you know, in the first week or the first few days, it gets so difficult. You're not used to doing this thing. You get what I'm saying? Then the second week it gets easier. Then the third week it gets even easier, and it becomes part of who you are.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? They train a certain way, but you must realize when you're about to do something new, like if you want to try a new habit, the first week it's not going to be so nice.
Yeah. You're breaking neurological pathways.
There's, like if you're getting used to doing something, like let's say for instance doing drugs, and you're about to go to the gym.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like, hey man, I'm used to doing drugs, but now I'm going to the gym. Obviously, when you go to the gym, the first thing, like you got to experience a lot of pain. You're going to experience a lot of pain. Like you're gymming, you're working out, and after 30 minutes, let me not say after 30 minutes, after, let's say 10 minutes, you say, I'm tired, I want to go home. No, but after 2 weeks, you start saying, okay, I'm getting used to this now.
Yeah.
Then what happens is that what's heavier becomes easier.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It becomes lighter and easier. And after 30 days, it's obviously 1 month.
Yeah.
The second month, you'll be like, oh man, I'm able to do this thing.
Sure.
You get what I'm saying? But you must realize that if you're starting a new habit, it's going to be difficult in the first week.
Yeah. If I may add to that, as you were mentioning with it being difficult in the beginning, I think that your perspective governs a lot of the decisions that you make.
Exactly.
Because like you were saying, if you have the intention to work out for a certain purpose, then life itself is defined by what you're expecting from yourself.
Of course.
So the way that you eat, the way that you sleep, all of these things are now in perspective of what you intend to get out of it.
Yes.
But I mean, I guess coming back to it, you'd obviously find that with habits, once you lose perspective of the purpose of them, and many people say that your why power is your power of life. Because if you don't have a reason as to why you need to do something, there would be absolutely no reason to keep yourself accountable to it.
Of course, you always got to have a why in your habit. Like, why am I performing this habit? Why am I going to the gym? Why am I doing that? If you have no why, you have no perspective of what you're doing, what the habit that you want to do. I mean, you may go to the gym, but why are you going to the gym? Do you want to stay fit? Why are you reading so many books? Do you want to learn more? If there's no why, your habits have no power. You get what I'm saying? So
I'd like to actually add an example of someone's life that many people have. How could you say? They've deemed it.
They've deemed it?
Sorry, they've deemed it almost as though it's not necessarily productive.
Yeah.
And he goes by the name of Pablo Picasso.
Come on.
And his daily routine, which ultimately were the habits that he deemed valuable to complete the things that he did. As we know, he was an incredible artist.
Yes.
His day would be divided and considered as abnormal. His day would start at 8 a.m. and finish at 2 p.m. If you see the common way of what people think good habits are, is starting your day early, isn't it?
Yes.
The early bird gets the worm, right?
Yes.
And he actually found that this way of productivity was best suited for the way that he wanted to work.
Yes.
Because he found that there was a lot more clarity in the evenings when he was working. And it said that I think up to his a week prior to his death, he was still working.
Okay.
So the habits that he used to some degree, almost, what would be the right word for this? To almost govern his life.
Yeah. 100%.
That he stayed faithful to. Those were the things that brought productivity and actually fruitfulness in his life.
Yeah.
So
you're about to mention his testimony. So would you say he did he do the right thing, or did he do a wrong thing that led to his death?
So the point that I'm actually trying to make, in a sense, is that when you look at habits in a nutshell, if they do not fulfill the purpose of life, there's a thing of complacency.
Yes.
The thing is, like the quote that we actually mentioned in the beginning, it takes the same amount of work in order to be fruitful and to be unfruitful. And I think that if you even go back to a mental health situation,
mental health,
with people being depressed, people say, I'm not going to use a scientific narrative on this, but it's common that when you are depressed and you continue to choose certain mindsets and certain...
That leads you to depression.
Yes, that not only leads you to depression, but makes it worse. It's, in a sense, the same amount of effort as choosing to be grateful, to be positive, to find purpose in suffering, etc., etc. And they say it's complacency to accept what is just, I guess, what you're thinking about. But there are consequences to that. And that is depression. And that can ultimately lead into suicide. So choosing the habits of your thoughts will ultimately show in your life, the embodiment of it.
And here's the dangerous part. We have free will.
Yeah.
we have free will. Because, there's good and there's bad. And yes, I wouldn't say the stupid part of it.
Yeah.
Some of us choose the bad, and it's gonna hurt us, but we still choose it, expecting the positive thing from it. But leading the whole thing to depression, right? You spoke about depression, and there's a lot of people that they're not in a positive state of mind. You get what I'm saying? Like you said, people choose to you can't. There's a saying that the same key won't open a different door.
Facts. Yeah.
Facts. You get what I'm saying? Because you can't expect to put the same key to open all different doors. Yeah. That's impossible.
I think sorry if I may add to that. That's a very good view, because if you don't accept the state of life, you cannot improve on it.
Of course.
If you don't understand that the door is not opening,
you try to open it this door's not opening, this door's not opening. It's the key. Come on.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
No, it's true.
But what you need to realize is that, it all starts in your mind. Crazy. It's crazy. It starts at the top, which is your mind.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Everything starts in your mind. It's like an imagination. You imagine yourself doing and succeeding in that habit.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Even in depression, when you're in that state where you're in a bad place, because like you said, that quote, in whatever habit you do, good or bad, the result is the same.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So it all starts in your mind, like the thinking pattern. The thinking pattern needs to change.
Yeah.
You need to make it a habit first in your thinking pattern, and then it will overflow in your body.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess many people have said that they intend to do the right thing, but that's contrasting. I mean, if you even take it biblically, what's said biblically is faith without works is void.
Yes, it's
and I think that's a very important thing that we overlook in a sense. We often think that it's dictatorial or communistic, or I'm not exactly sure how to define it, where there's that expectation of your faith. But it's not faith if it cannot be practiced.
Yes,
it is not it is not part of your life if you cannot put a habit to it. Habit is a system by which you're able to achieve something.
You may find that that's why most people are not successful today, because you may think good things like, I want to be rich, I want to open businesses.
Sure.
You have the faith to do those things.
But if not in action.
But there's no action into it. I think that's the thing. Like, they always think about the work.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because, if you ask every successful person, is that don't worry about the destination, worry about the journey. The journey is important. Yeah. Because, they say a journey to success, man. It's gonna be, you gotta have rocky grounds. You gotta have good grounds. You gotta have there's a lot of things that are gonna happen, but it's the journey that's important, because the journey builds your character. The journey gives you a strong mind, because if I gave you like 2 million rand today as you are, without having that character. Like, there's a show in South Africa called I Blew It. It's based on people that won the lotto. They won the lotto like 2 million. 2 million. They gave them 2 million.
Sure.
But the habit of spending money was still there. They didn't change their habit. You get what I'm saying? So they're spending on
That's
cars.
Powerful, actually.
Yeah, they're spending on cars. They're spending on, like, not even, they build houses. They're not even doing investment in that house. Yeah. They buy, status, things that bring status. Yeah. And when they broke, there's like, nah, I blew the money. You get what I'm saying?
That's interesting. How habit is actually
habit.
It's your mentality of habit can actually lead you to
doing certain things. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? And it's important that you need to watch what habits you do. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. If it's bad, you got to suffer the consequences. But also good things have consequences as well.
Sure.
You get what I'm saying? It's not the bad things. It's also the good things that have consequences. But we got to be willing to face the consequences of our habits. Like, let's say, for example, you wanna go to the gym, but the consequences that you're gonna suffer is for you not to sleep longer.
I mean, there are probably also other things in your life that you'll be able to eliminate in order to do something that is of value to you.
But the thing is, you love those things. You love them, but you can't do them. In order for me not to get to this certain point, I need to cut those things out. And it's like a plant. When you cut something, it hurts.
Yeah.
When you cut something, it hurts, man. It hurts in the beginning to cut something, but if you want to produce a new habit, that's what you need to go through. You need to cut certain things that's gonna hurt you, even in the state of mind.
Yeah. So that's actually a really good point to stand on for now. We're gonna go into our next song.
Of course.
It is "Honor Your Lord" by Luke Wareham. I hope you enjoy it, and we'll continue in a moment.
We'll see you.
Don't go.
Are the wonders of our God. Oh, His mercies never fail. How good is He? He saves. Oh, He rescues, He redeems. Oh, His grace sets captives free. How good is He?
Honor you, Lord. we honor you. We honor you. And should our hearts fall silent, the rocks would cry aloud to honor you. To honor you. For you are like no other, my God and mighty warrior. We honor you. We honor you. And should our hearts fall silent, the rocks would cry aloud to honor you. To honor you.
Honor you, Lord, for your glory and your strength. Honor you, Lord, as we stand holy in your name. Honor you, Lord, for your love that never fails. Honor you, Lord, you are good and you prevail.
We have returned.
We are back.
We haven't left. We are currently in the same place.
Yeah, we back like we never left, as they will say.
Precisely. So, yes, you were actually talking about how for good habits there is actually consequence and what we
Yes.
might call
Yes.
positive outcome.
Of course, but you can't. You know what many people think? Like they think doing negative stuff will bring a positive outcome. Like they think stealing will bring so much money, but that's blood money, guys. That I
Yeah.
would say that's blood money. Like you think that now if I steal this, guys, man, I'm going to get a house. I'm going to get a house. Yeah, you may celebrate for that moment.
Yeah.
Because people that have bad habits, they always think for the moment.
Sure. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
They
it's
always
true.
think for the moment. And good people, they always say, you know what, I'm going to do this, and in the next 2 years I'm going to be in this position.
Yeah.
You see where I'm getting to now. Bad decisions is for the moment.
Yeah.
Good decisions is for a lifetime.
Long term, yeah.
You get what I'm saying? That's what you need to you need to realize. You get what I'm saying?
No, definitely. So what I'd actually add to that is how habits can actually be, I guess it's the only control that you have over your own life.
Yeah.
Circumstantially, we have no control over our environment.
Yes.
And if we actually understand that the only power we have is the systems by which we hold ourselves accountable to
Yes.
daily, we're
Yes.
able to achieve irrespective of circumstance.
Yes, exactly.
And I think that's a mentality that's not common.
Sure. No, that's really, really powerful.
Would you agree to that?
Yeah,
Or-
look,
or-
I would definitely agree to that, man, because habits is such a powerful habits and discipline. It's fine, they go hand in hand, eh?
Sure.
Because discipline, it's actually doing habits even though you don't want to do it.
Precisely, yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And that's what people don't like.
Yeah.
It's funny, like when you're starting, like it's difficult, then it becomes good. It becomes part of you.
Sure.
Then there's things that start coming your way, and you want to change your habits now.
Yeah.
Decision making.
Yeah.
It's the decision making that your state of mind. Like I spoke about the state of mind. Like you need to think. I'm like, well, matter what comes to me,
Yeah.
my character. Because it's funny how that your habits will affect your character.
Character is a big thing, yeah.
Character is a big thing, man. It's crazy, yeah.
That's a really good point, because it's your character that you are holding yourself to when you make decisions, because people don't know your intentions of life unless you verbalize them. But it
Yeah.
is by the way that you live and exist. That's how they ultimately are able to see your intention of
Yeah,
your purpose.
because you may find out people can't change their habits because it's part of their character.
Oh, sure. That's interesting.
You get what I'm saying? Because there's like a person that's taking drugs, for example. He wants to go to the gym, but his character is doing drugs.
So would you say that someone can be defined by the character? So a habit isn't fulfillable, if that's a word, if the character is, I guess, doesn't accommodate that?
Because you see, Beulah, you gotta realize that, you know, if you do certain things consistently and it becomes a habit, it eventually becomes part of your character. That's what you need to realize. And you see, character is a very, very big thing. You need to fix your character, because if you fix your character, you have different habits. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your character is very, very important. I know we're speaking about habits.
Yeah.
But obviously it leads to that one thing, which is character.
Sure.
If you don't develop your character, your habits and your discipline will be completely messed up. No matter how much you want to do good, if your character says no, if your character says no, you won't do it. Period.
I mean, but there are two views from that. You could say, if you were talking about the word character in the sense, I mean, two definitions you have here are the mental and moral qualities distinctive to an individual, or a person in a novel, play, or film, which is actually interesting because you can act a character if your habits define you by that.
Ooh,
so it's not actually who you are, but it is who you are by what you do.
Yes, who you are is by what you do, definitely. And
that's interesting.
You know, it's funny because it all leads its habits and discipline. Like if you're doing drugs. If you're doing drugs, people call you in character.
What's up with the drugs, Marcus?
I'm so sorry if drugs is in my bad.
That sounds bad.
I'm so sorry, but anyway, man.
I get the example.
But it's just an example because drugs is so common in our society.
Unfortunately,
it's our society today, and you know, character and habits they play, and discipline they play hand in hand. I know that I said discipline and habits play in hand, but also character plays a big part.
Sure.
You get what I'm saying? Because it can affect those three. Habits can affect character and discipline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that your example of drugs is actually quite good because it's known to be an addictive substance.
Exactly.
But in the same way, you can make anything in life an addictive substance if you put enough dependency on it.
Yes, definitely. And like I said, you need to be careful with what habits you do, you know.
Yeah.
Because if you do a certain, you know, it's a bad habit, but you expect good out of it. But it's like you're using a rotten key opening a new door.
Yeah.
That's what you're basically doing.
Depending on what you put value on, that's what you will actually practice day to day.
That's another thing. Value.
Yeah.
The more you value something, you give more into it. You get what I'm saying? Because you see value in that thing. Many people see value. You see, some people are deceived. Like they look at the wrong thing and they think it's value. It to give them value.
Yeah.
You may find out that's not true.
Yeah.
Society says this is wrong, but you look and say, nah, this is right.
Sure.
But they know why they don't give value to that thing. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So man, man, with habits, you need to play a big part in that.
Yeah.
To fix your character and your discipline. Yeah.
I think that's a really good point to make because depending on the amount of effort you put on what you value, your habits would work out accordingly.
Yes.
And oftentimes, like you were saying, according to someone's character, they're limited to the types of habit that they put.
Yes.
But if you stay in that mentality of idealism, in a sense of life in a certain way is unachievable, you also give away more power than you actually hold, which is not. It's not true because you are personally responsible for the habits that you have. And I think that's coming back to the fact that if you accept the state of life and you act on it accordingly, understanding that environmental factors are not in your play, not in your hand, not in your ability or capacity.
Sure, now that's good. Like
you govern yourself by systems known as habits so that you can actually accommodate for life.
And you're the only one that's accountable for your habits. Eh?
It's true.
It's funny how
we heard it in high school. We didn't want to listen.
Of course. Like
you didn't understand.
Like we are accountable for our own habits. Nobody else is. You get what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, when we go home, we gotta only look at one person, and that's the man in the mirror, which is ourselves.
Michael Jackson. Eh?
You get what I'm saying? You go to the mirror and say, and you the one you having the conversation and say, I did this today.
Wise words of Michael Jackson.
Oh my word! Why are you mentioning Michael Jackson?
You said look at the man in the mirror. Isn't it part of your songs?
I'm not a Michael Jackson fan, but anyway.
Okay, cool.
but anyway, like if you look in the mirror, you're alone. You're talking to yourself. I'm like, I did this. I knew it was wrong. I still did it, and you know you're gonna suffer the consequences for it.
Sure.
You're the one that's accountable for it. You must just always remember that. Either good, either bad, you'll always be accountable to your habits.
I think that's a
Always.
great privilege, actually.
It's a great privilege.
In a
yes.
sense, if you look
Yeah.
at it that way, then you're no longer a victim. You're able to overcome things by your ability to apply yourself.
Of course. And the way you conduct yourself is also very, very important because,
Yeah.
you know, like you said before, what you are presents what you do, in
Sure.
a sense. You get what I'm saying? Because, you know, when people see you doing something for a long period of time, they'll say it's part of who you are.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So that's why it leads to character. If your habit is part of your character, it's going to be part of who you are, and you end up doing it consistently, and they say, nah, this guy is this.
Yeah,
this
that's
guy
good.
is that. This guy's a businessman. This guy's a drug addict. This guy is a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? We can all see it. You get what I'm saying? And it's funny how, like, your habits you need to be formed when when you're alone, because you, like I said, you're the one that's accountable for it. Like,
Yeah.
okay, what can I change?
Sure.
What consequences I'm going to benefit from this?
I think that's a constant narrative that we actually overlook, that we have to have in our minds.
Like, man,
It's not autonomous. Habit and success is not autonomous.
Exactly, and we need to sit it leads me to the key now. You can't use the same key to open a different door. We need to
Sure.
sit down and say, hey man, this is bad. It's holding me back.
That's true.
It's holding me back, and you know it's holding you back. And you can't. The moment a bad habit becomes good to you, it's a stronghold to you.
Oh, sure. That's
You get what I'm saying?
Facts.
The moment a bad habit becomes part of you, and it becomes part of you, and you think it's good,
It's a stronghold.
It's a stronghold.
Yeah.
Period.
That's true.
You get
No,
it.
but this was an incredible conversation to have. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for joining us
Thank
today.
you for having me, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's been a great privilege spending time with you and the listeners, whoever it is that is listening at the moment. Thank you.
I hope you benefit this conversation, really.
Yeah, and let us actually know what are
Please.
your thoughts on our Instagram page, our Facebook page,
yes.
YouTube, the table of perspective. Wow, I can't even
The
say
table,
it. The table of perspective.
Yes. And so before we close, we're gonna introduce our last song, which is "Always Faithful," which featuring Matt Jackson. So please enjoy the song.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Like what you're listening to? Follow us on Twitter at Active FM,
Instagram at ActiveFM777 and Facebook at /ActiveFM.
Look what the Lord has done. He has shown himself strong, redeeming all of our brokenness and making all things new. You are faithful and true. You're leading us into hope. We can rest in all of your promises. We believe in you. I will lift up my eyes to the sky, where my help comes from. I will lift up my eyes to the sky, where my help comes from. 'Cause you're always faithful. You're always I will rejoice and be glad. Your love's my strength and my song. You're lifting me up when I was down.